and how that affects Black women specifically. Can you speak a little bit about that?
Yeah. So texturism is a big one. I feel like Black women are only appreciated when they have loose curl patterns.
So we're going to go ahead and go through this while I'm sitting here at the charger charging my car. So she said Black women aren't appreciated unless they have loose curled hair.
What kind of shit is that?
What the heck, man? I'm going to tell you right now, I believe that that's cap. I'm going to say at the very least, most men just want women to keep themselves up, all right? Look presentable. So if you do have natural hair, just do something with it. There is nothing wrong with styling your hair. And that don't mean you have to put it in any type of loose curls or anything like that. Just look presentable. Don't just be coming out the house like you just woke up and got out of bed and you didn't try to fix yourself up in any type of way.
When Black women have 4C hair, they're always called nappy headed. And I mean, like, they just passed the law, the Crown Act, to protect Black women from losing their jobs because they were getting fired because it was unprofessional.
Now, just speaking on that, I actually did have a friend that was having some issues because she was choosing to wear her natural hair. Now, in her defense, she was actually a young lady that did do something to her hair every time she went to work, but her boss was just doing the most. So with that being said, I completely understand why that law was passed.
To have their natural hair out. So I get like criticized a lot on my page because I wear wigs.
Because the longest, men have always said this. We don't like weave. We don't like wigs. We don't like those tracks and all that extra stuff. Just do something with your natural hair.
But I know if I popped out with my 4C hair, men would be like, you're unattractive.
Stop the cap.
You're nappy headed. And it's like, it's just weird because it just feels like Black women, like, no matter what we do, we getting criticized for our hair of anything. You know what I mean? Bonnets.
That's not your hair.
Wigs.
That's not your hair.
If you got 4C hair, you're getting criticized.
That's cap.
So
what about, you said featureism, so that was texturism?
I want to make it clear, I'm not saying I have European features. I'm saying that I have features that fit the European beauty standard, which means like I got a small nose, big lips, like narrow eyes, and like I look like a Black Barbie. So like on dark skinned women, we only get desired in media when we look like high maintenance Black Barbies. So like me or Ryan Destiny or Kelly Rowland. But like women who have like wide noses, for example, like they're deemed as undesirable or masculine. And it's kind of just like, it's just a little bit weird that that's an issue in our community because it stems from racism, but it causes so much division in our community, especially between like Black men and Black women. So
here's what's crazy about that. I think I've heard more women talk about other women that have those features rather than hear those type of comments from men. As a man, I will tell you, I don't care about how big or how small your eyes is. I don't care about how big or small your nose is. Now, I can appreciate some full lips, but you know what we value more? Your femininity.
He ain't lying.
We put that over all of those things.
Last but not least, colorism. I know that's a
Yeah.
big one. Can you explain that?
yeah, so that's discrimination based on your skin tone. So dark-skinned people are at a disadvantage and light-skinned people are at an advantage because it goes way deeper than, I'm going to get into, I know you made that face. Light-skinned men are not at a disadvantage. I would say that. But when I'm talking about women, I think dark-skinned women are at a disadvantage because like even how we're represented in media, like we're always the strong, independent Black woman, or we're masculine, or we're the ghetto ratchet girl. Like we're never the feminine or the classy, acceptable Black person. Like we're always deemed as like just this typical stereotype of a Black woman, like in TV shows like Martin and stuff, like with Shanae, like it's just things like that. Versus like, I will say with light-skinned men, I don't think they benefit from it though, because they're viewed as feminine and soft. And on the male side, men don't want to be viewed as feminine and soft. So,
all right, so let's talk about it. So she continues to talk about the media. And I'm gonna say this because I actually heard this from someone. They were saying something about, you know, the Chinese people. They were portraying the Chinese in a certain type of light early on when it came to film and all of those other things. And Chinese people started to come out with their own movies, karate and all that other stuff. So what Chinese people end up doing is they end up changing the narrative of what people deem them as. And I believe they first started off as like porters or janitors or something like that. It went from being looked at as janitors and all of those other things to being known for something else, which is like karate and all of that other stuff. The exact same thing goes for black men. When you see black men in media most of the time, what are they portrayed as? Gangsters, hood guys, pretty much a bad light. So the only way we can change that narrative is to change ourselves as a whole and start coming out with our own movies and our own TV shows. In order to change those perceptions and stuff on media, we first have to change ourselves. The exact same thing goes for women. If you're always looked at in media as a strong, independent, and all of these extra things that you don't want to be looked as, then you need to stop leading with that. Because if you go on social media, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, or whatever, you have an overwhelming majority of women put themselves on a pedestal and say, I am strong, I am independent. But most of those things are just looked at as being an adult. We need to change the way that we're moving and start putting that stuff into our own TV shows and start putting that type of stuff on media, and maybe things may change. But that's it for today's video, guys. Go ahead and leave me a comment down below. Let me guys know what you think about this particular topic. If you want to look at the long version of this thing, go ahead and check out Daily Wrap Up Crew. I'll go ahead and leave a link down in the description below for you guys to go check them out. But anyway, y'all be blessed. Y'all be beautiful. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.
Blueberry, Burberry, button-up. Tan skin, mixed race, buttercup. Canada weather, got a bundle up. I'm tryna work, she hit my phone, she wanna, whoa.